Alright, home sweet home. Anyway, today's movie is a special request courtesy of Patreon supporter Michael Alvarez, who asked that I once again do a good old 50s monster movie. And considering the last 50s movie I did featured one of the most notoriously silly monsters of all time, Mike could have picked an infamously bad movie like Robot Monster or Plan 9 from Outer Space, but to his credit, he picked one that's actually pretty good. So does that mean I'm gonna be nice to this one? Yeah, sure. Tarantula is a 1955 sci-fi movie starring cult movie icon John Agar. Just who is John Agar, you ask? Well, a good way to think of him is kinda like the Doug McClure of the 50s. He started out co-starring in westerns and war movies with John Wayne, but is probably best known today for sci-fi movies like Revenge of the Creature, The Mole People, and other movies featured on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Hi, Kiva! Hot!
Well, the Satellite of Love never got around to this movie, which means this is a perfect opportunity for me to riff on it. So here is Tarantula. Damn, just listen to that music. This opening is gonna be intense. Huh. I think the movie just provided its own tumbleweed moment. Nope, never mind. It's actually me on a NyQuil bender. Actually, now that I look closer, I'm pretty sure I had the Star Wars toy of this guy. Well, he's dead. On to the credits. Tarantula! A story so complex, it required no less than 3 people to write it. Wait a second, Joan St. Agar? Why does that name seem familiar?
Ah, St. Agar, the patron saint of omelets.
Alright, if I keep showing Mystery Science Theater clips, this is gonna take forever, so let's just keep going. Anyway, John plays Matt Hastings, a simple country doctor who lands at Desert Rock Airport. Well, it's not really an airport, more of an empty patch of desert with a sign that says airport. So it's an airport the same way Wyoming's a state.
Hey, they're keeping it busy these days.
It's the desert. Gives people wonderful ideas.
Fuck yeah, it does. That's how we got Caius. Desert Rock may not have much of an airport, but at least his office looks tidy.
Phone's been ringing like crazy for you. Sheriff's half out of his mind.
Yeah, thanks, I can't believe it's not Walter Brennan.
I'm ringing him, Doc.
That's fine.
One of these days I gotta get me one of those hot Mad Men secretaries. Anyway, whenever a sheriff calls in a 50s monster movie, that's usually a bad sign, although I gotta say, this guy does know how to rock a kerchief.
The boys found a man near the highway this morning.
Who is it?
Well, he has the same general build as Eric Jacobs.
Wait, has the same build? Did Jacobs look like he had a pillow stuffed under his shirt?
I don't follow you.
There's something about his face says he's Jacobs.
Something about his face says it's him? Is it me, or does it seem like the sheriff is trying to politely say that this Jacobs guy was really fugly?
He's over at the Undertaker's. You'd better have a look.
Uh-huh, it's just as I suspected. This man's dead. It wouldn't be a 50s sci-fi movie without a shifty scientist, so this movie has Professor Deemer, who has a PhD in tampering in the laws of nature and a master's in art history. Maybe Matt can tell us what's going on.
When I saw the body, I thought it was acromegalia. But that's not possible.
Acromegalia?
Oh man, awesome Italian horror movie. Okay, here's the real explanation.
The pituitary gland goes haywire, Jack. It distorts the face, neck, hands, and feet.
Eventually, you join the WWE and star in The Princess Bride.
Perhaps Eric had been ill for years, who knows? But it was only 4 days ago that he began to complain of muscular pains. These things happen as you grow older.
Oh yeah, baldness, weight gain, turning into a lumpy Play-Doh mutant, all perfectly normal parts of the aging process. Agar does not look pleased.
Acromegalia.
You heard the man. The trouble is, Doc, you hate to admit you're wrong.
We all make mistakes, Jack. This isn't one of mine.
Yeah, I'm John Agar. I'm always right about everything. Either the professor is conducting some shady experiments with growth hormones, or he's a really safe heroin addict. Stupid 1950s effects. Those real animals look totally fake. And what the hell? They're showing the monster this early in the movie? We're not even 15 minutes in. This movie has no respect for 50s monster movie protocol. The professor gets attacked by another guy who looks like Frankenstein's ballsack, and in the ensuing fight, they end up breaking the tarantula cage. Come on, guys, couldn't you have broken the guinea pig cage? That way its rampage would be terrifying and adorable. This guy doesn't actually kill the professor, but he also doesn't wash that needle either, which means there is a serious risk of giving him hepatitis C. Also, the whole house now smells like barbecued lab rat. Well, no sense letting a perfectly good dead body go to waste. Might as well use it to fertilize your tumbleweed garden. Oh no, he's getting attacked by the Pillsbury Doughboy!
Coco, you startled me.
Looks like somebody's getting their brain dissected tomorrow. Meanwhile, Agar still seems to be mad nobody's taking him seriously.
If there's anything a man hates, it's to be told he's wrong when he knows he's right.
I knew Deemer had burned your tail.
Listen, I'm just a country doctor, but I know what I know.
Of course, as a simple country doctor, I mostly know about curing people with buttermilk transfusions in the entire discography of the Oak Ridge Boys, but I know the crap out of those things.
So I went to the medical library in Phoenix and read up on it. There wasn't one single recorded case in medical history where a malformation developed as fast as Deemer said Jacobs did.
See? I read a book. That means that thing I didn't know much about earlier was right. I shouldn't make fun, though. After all, he does have good reason to be suspicious.
Deemer's specialty is nutrient biology. Jacobs is a leader in the same field. I'd say they might be working on something they're not too anxious to talk about.
Those damn nutrient biologists, always tampering in God's domain. It wasn't enough when they invented Centrum, then they had to go and invent Centrum Silver and put the whole world in danger. At this point, we're introduced to another character played by Mara Corday from The Giant Claw, who's probably glad to be in a movie where the monster doesn't look like shit. Looks like it's time for Agar to take her for a ride. No, seriously, he gives her a ride.
Dr. Matt Hastings.
Stephanie Clayton, Steve.
I like Steve.
Hey, just to be sure, you are a chick, right? Anyway, Steve is a biology student going to study with the professor.
I'm doing graduate work in biology. The professor teaches it, or he did.
I knew it would happen. Give women the vote, and what do you get? Lady science.
A woman interested in scientific pursuits. Ah, well, whatever keeps him happy in between getting us brewskis and fetching our slippers, right, fellas? So what's she gonna be doing for the professor anyway?
I'll be laboratory technician, cook, student, well, the whole works.
Yeah, you may be an aspiring scientist, but it's still the 50s and you're still a woman, so get your ass in the kitchen, toots. And I guess Matt's rearview mirror doesn't work since they apparently don't notice the tarantula right behind them. Meanwhile, looks like the professor's busy preparing for his Monkey Shines audition.
Seems Professor Jacobs wrote for an assistant. She's it.
Ah, yes. Eric told me you were coming. But I didn't expect to see a biologist that looked like you.
Your application didn't say anything about having a vagina. So the gist of the professor's experiments is that he's working on making a super concentrated nutrient in order to increase the food supply. And just how does he make this nutrient?
That's an isotope, isn't it?
A radioactive isotope.
And that's what binds your solution.
Binds it and triggers it.
Oh, 1950s radiation. Is there anything you can't do? But Agar's still suspicious about how Jacobs died.
I'm still puzzled by the speed with which Jacobs' malformation developed. Can you explain it?
You want to do an autopsy. Why don't you?
Hell yeah. Now he's gonna get to the bottom of this.
What you got? I'll give it to you fast, Jack. Nothing.
You mean the professor was right?
Couldn't have been more right.
Huh. Okay, I guess he's a simple country doctor for a reason then.
I still can't figure it out.
I'm John Agar. I can't possibly be wrong. Oh well, at least Steve seems to be learning a lot.
That's good.
Why, at this rate, you'll be baking cookies in no time.
What do you want to try it on this time?
One of the baby rats?
Yeah, we need to hurry up and make the monster from nightmares. Well, that was a productive day of raping the laws of nature. Now on to more important things.
I'll be back in a couple of hours.
All right, Steve.
Science is science, but a girl must get her hair done.
I need to wash all that ambition and critical thinking out of me.
Oh, and when it comes to attitudes towards women, the movie does not stop there.
Have the prescription refilled and be sure she takes it after every meal.
Okay, Doc. But you know women. Mary will just let us sit on the shelf.
Ah, dames. Always not taking their prescriptions. Apparently. Here's some more 1950s values. Smoking. Anyway, tell him about the rabbit, Steve.
How long does it take an ordinary rabbit to reach full growth?
I don't know, 4 or 5 months, I guess.
He has one there that's reached maturity in 6 days. I know, it sounds unbelievable, but it's true.
No. What's unbelievable is the fact that you haven't gone public with this yet.
Some of the nutrient, when unstable, has even been deadly.
Okay, again, that's another good reason why you should go public with this. Maybe try and get some government funding, have an entire team of scientists working on it, as opposed to, you know, one guy and an intern in the middle of the fucking desert. Oh well, I guess this does give Agar an excuse to give her another ride.
Are you sure your patients can spare you?
I'm such a good doctor, they never get sick.
They're far too high off all the Xanax I prescribe. Steve may have to get back to work, but that doesn't mean they can't stop for another smoke break. Time to lay on the charm.
You know, it must look out of this world from the air.
I'll show it to you sometime.
Oh, will you really?
Uh-huh.
What does it look like?
Serene, quiet, yet strangely evil.
Sounds romantic? Their little rendezvous gets interrupted by the spider, who I guess has a grudge against Agar since it causes a rock slide. Or maybe it was just trying to kill the cameraman.
Something must have started it.
Rocks that have stayed for 1,000 years, they just move.
And even though I was wrong about the acromegalia thing earlier, I'm totally right about rocks just moving by themselves. I'm John Agar, dammit! At least he seems to be making progress with Steve.
Give my best to the rabbits.
Would you like to see them?
Now you're talking.
Just to be sure, the rabbits is code for your boobs, right? But before he can see too much, he has to go.
I've got to go. That's one of the penalties of being a doctor.
You always have to help these damn sick people. Meanwhile, it looks like the professor's turning into a Skrull. Hey, don't worry about your face, Professor. All you have to do is invent Botox and you'll be fine. Agar goes to investigate the landslide, although I don't know why. Rocks just move, remember?
Oh, you got nerves. Simmer down. Old Andy called me in a sweat and said to come a-running. Couldn't figure out what he's yakking about, but it seems like something was eating his cattle.
Hey, as long as it doesn't end up being Reptilicus, I'll be happy. So they find some cow bones along with a pile of spider splooge? Ugh.
Where'd that come from? It was there when the boy got here. Stop worrying about that and tell me what's picking my cattle clean.
Yeah, forget about the mysterious white substance right beside my cows. It's probably just some vanilla ice cream that was in the sun too long. You know, this really seems like something you should have mentioned along with the dead cows. In fact, now that I think about it, how is it no one seems to notice this thing? I mean, there's a few people who see it and then get killed right away, but nobody else is seeing that there's a giant freaking tarantula walking around? I know they're in the middle of the desert, but there aren't even any planes spotting it or something. I mean, it's huge now. Then again, there seems to be a lot that these people don't seem to notice.
I can't understand why I didn't spot this stuff when I hauled those skeletons out of here and stacked them on the other side.
Yeah, that is weird. Almost as weird as that awkward line explaining it. Oh no, for God's sake, John, don't eat it.
Wow.
That's delicious! So after tasting it, Agar gets the bright idea to collect a sample and analyze it.
It's impossible at this stage to give you a positive answer, but it's related to insect venom.
Because as a medical doctor, I know all about insects.
I'm not sure what kind of insect venom it is.
Probably because it's not insect venom. Spiders are arachnids, dumbass. Agar decides to take the sample to the professor to have it analyzed, and okay, seriously? No one is seeing this thing? Really? Alright, I guess it took stealth lessons from the last dinosaur. Anyway, he takes the sample to the professor, but unfortunately for him, he's busy working on his Rondo Hatton cosplay.
Don't you think we ought to get him to a hospital?
There isn't anything they can do for him we can't do right here.
Yeah, I got cotton swabs in my bag and everything. So they help the professor by injecting him with, I don't know, exposition juice?
Start with Jacob's professor. He was the beginning.
One day, when I was in town, he and Paul injected themselves.
The poor misguided fools thought they could give their penises gigantism.
Oh, you should have seen them. Rat, 8 times normal size. Guinea pig, big as a police dog. Tarantula.
Professor, I understand the rat and the guinea pig, but why the hell did you test the nutrient on a tarantula? You got anything else?
Well, the tarantula.
Title drop. Agar finds out the liquid is tarantula venom after getting it analyzed by a professional, which is probably what he should have done in the first fucking place. And we get another staple of 1950s cinema, an educational film.
That's the largest of tarantulas from South America, and it's only a foot in diameter with its legs outstretched.
I know. Our Arizona species is even smaller.
Okay, we get it. You know a lot of things. Now stop showing off.
That's the spider wasp, the tarantula's deadliest enemy.
Oh, well, there's your solution. You just need to make a giant spider wasp. Also, does this guy just show this movie to everybody who brings in something spider-related?
But what if circumstances magnified one of them in size and strength?
Then expect something that's fiercer, more cruel and deadly than anything that ever walked the earth.
Yeah, too bad nobody'll notice it since apparently no one lives in Arizona. Oh, wait, never mind. There's a couple people. Hey, don't run. He just wants to dissolve your flesh from the inside so he can eat you. Fun fact, in the 50s, even guys tripped for no apparent reason in horror movies. So that's one form of equality, I guess. Here's another thing that apparently doesn't exist in Arizona: peripheral vision. Hey, do you mind? You're interrupting the professor's beauty sleep. And he needs it too. He looks like if Herman Munster had a stroke. You see, Professor? This is why you only make cute animals big. And also why you should always get tarantula insurance on your house. So I guess people are finally able to see this thing now. What are they gonna do about it?
Get those submachine guns. You boys get back in the car. They won't stop it.
You sure? Looks stopped to me. Oh, wait, there it goes. Guys, I really think you're gonna need bigger guns. Well, we tried, let's go. So we're now coming to the climax of the film, and in true 50s monster movie fashion, they are gonna need to figure out a super scientific way to stop this thing.
I want you to phone the commanding officer at Sands Air Base. Tell him to load up with napalm, rockets, anything they've got.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that would work. Before the planes get there, though, they decide to try using dynamite. Now they just need to find out where it is. Last I heard, it was in the 50-foot woman's bathroom, and she asked the amazing Colossal Man to come squish it for her. I don't know if that's enough dynamite, fellas. Although since they are in the desert, most of the dynamite was probably hoarded by Wile E. Coyote. I think I know why the dynamite didn't work. It should have gone more like this. The Air Force isn't taking any chances, though, and they send in Clint Eastwood to kill the spider. No, seriously, that really is Clint Eastwood as the Air Force squad leader.
Dropping napalm. Follow an order.
Go ahead, Spidey. Make my day. Actually, you know what? That's a little cliched. Let's use another Clint Eastwood line.
If I was half as ugly as you, Sergeant Major, I'd be a poster boy for a prophylactic.
Unusual choice, but whatever, I'll take it. And so, thanks to Clint Eastwood, the day is saved. However, the town would continue to smell like burnt spider hair for the next 18 months. So that's Tarantula, and like I said at the beginning, this one's actually pretty good. I mean, sure, it's got all the hokiness you'd expect from a movie called Tarantula, and like a lot of 50s monster movies, it takes a little while to get going. But some of the effects are actually pretty good for when it was made, and the whole nutrient explanation is actually more inventive than a lot of sci-fi movies of the time. So if you're a fan of 50s monster flicks, I say check this one out. Well, that's all for now. Until next time. Did I get a new couch?
Hey, ain't you two gonna introduce yourselves?
No.